So what's the feeling on the first day, seeing in full clubhouse?
First day, good. I think that just kind of obviously getting the pitchers, catchers here. Majority of the position players are here already. Guys are anxious. I think for me, we got a long camp, longer than we've had in the recent years. So to try to get guys to start slow but intentional, methodical is kind of the message. But yeah, it'll be good to get guys on the field.
We were talking yesterday about all the pitchers and their different phases of ramp up and so on. Is that the number one job this spring, to figure out where everybody is and who's available?
It is. I think a lot of the veteran guys sort of know where they're at, what it's going to take to get them ready. Younger guys, I think some of the guys that are coming off injury, guys that had a bigger workload last year, and just trying to bucket those guys together individually. But I think the main thing is just kind of ramp up methodically and really not try to have a certain target date. And everyone's on a different program. But yeah, as long as they're kind of improving, which I feel right now we got a healthy group right now.
Dave, now that you guys have gotten a little bit more of a feel for who Shohei is as a pitcher, and he's kind of like maybe a semi-normal ramp up over an off season, what kind of expectations do you think about like what he can do as a pitcher? Do you feel like there's maybe more that's like untapped there for him than what he's shown previously in the big leagues?
Yeah, I do. I think that certainly last year, coming off surgery, but I think the regular off-season ramp up, I think there's certainly a lot more in there, and regardless of my expectations for him, his are going to, exceed those. I think it's fair to say he expects to be in the Cy Young conversation, but we just want to be healthy and make starts, and all the numbers and statistics will take care of themselves. But man, this guy is such a disciplined worker, and expects the most from himself.
Is there anything that surprised you about him as a pitcher, just watching him go through the regular routines and watching him actually in starts that maybe you didn't expect?
I think the thing that was most surprising from last year was his command. And I'll say that he still feels his command wasn't up to par, but given, the Tommy John and what typically command looks like the year after, it was above that. So I think that was impressive. Just his ability to command the couple different breaking balls, to change the shape of his breaking balls was pretty impressive. And, everything he does is with a purpose. So I'm really excited to see with the full off season to just prepare and not rehab, what he can do this year.
So how early did you get here to camp, and how far along in your preparations are you?
キャンプ入りはいつ頃からと、今準備の段階としては2月の頭ぐらいに入って、はい、ブルペンも今日で3回目ですかね。はい、いい強度で投げてるので順調だと思ってます。Yeah, I came into camp beginning of February. This is my third bullpen with pretty good intensity.
And how excited are you for the WBC?
どのぐらいエキサイトしてますか？
前回もいい試合が多かったですし、野球界にとってはね大事な大会だとは思うので、はい、全力で楽しみにしてます。
Yeah, played really good games last tournament, and I expect that to happen again. So I'm really looking forward to it.
How different does the spring feel, not having had a surgery or an injury to recover from this year?
怪我とかリハビリなしで今回のオフシーズン過ごし方っていうのは新鮮？
そうですね。ようやく通常のオフシーズンを過ごすことができたので、はい。短かったのはね、いいことではあると思うので、はい。その短い間の中で十分に準備はできたのかなと思ってます。
I was finally able to have a normal off season, and although the off season was pretty short, I thought it was a good thing actually to have a shorter off season.
Why?
なんで短いオフシーズンがいいのか。
You know what I mean?
I wanted a longer off season.
Yeah.
We saw the MVP awards dinner in New York where you gave your speech in English. Are you about to put Will out of work?
英語ね話してましたけども、ウィル通訳は無職になるんですかねと。 いや必要ですね。まあ誰かがね意地悪な質問とかしてくるので、それをねうまく回避するために必要かなと思ってます。
I still need him because there might be some bullies out there that might give me some weird questions that I'm sure he can handle.
Winning a Cy Young Award might be the only thing that you haven't done. Is that a goal of yours?
まだやり遂げてないサイ・ヤング目標。
そうです。まあ取れればもちろん素晴らしいと思いますし、まあその付近に行くということはそれだけイニングも投げているということだと思うので、健康でこう1年間回れればまずはそこが一番やるべきことかなと思ってます。
If the end result is getting a Cy Young, that's great. Getting a Cy Young means like just being able to throw more innings and pitch throughout the whole season. So if that's the end result, that's a good sign for me, and that's what I'm more focused on is just being healthy the whole year.
Good morning. I just want to start off by acknowledging my wife, Kayla, who is not only the strongest person that I know, but a support system for me every bit as much as I am for her. Part of what I'm here to share is on behalf of the both of us, and I will start off by thanking the Dodgers, Andrew Friedman, Brandon Gomes, Doc, the whole coaching staff, and all of my teammates. The amount of support you have given Kay and I has been overwhelming in the best way. We're beyond grateful to be a part of this organization and this family. So many of you have stepped up and have been there for us in a big way over the past few months, and it has meant the world to both Kay and I. I'd like to take the opportunity to thank the Toronto Blue Jays, their front office, coaching staff, and their players for showing us the support. They are a first-class organization, and I just want to say thank you to them. When Kay and I were watching the World Series, we noticed that there was 51 on Louis Varland's hat. I immediately texted Gus Varland, to his brother, and I asked him if I was seeing that correctly. He texted me back right away, and he said, "The Varlands love you, dude. The whole Toronto bullpen has it too. It's bigger than baseball. We love y'all." And Kay and I, we were very emotional. We were super overwhelmed with emotion and the baseball, the community, the relationships that you make along the way. It showed that it was much bigger than baseball.
Getting ready for opening day. This was maybe a possibility dating back to the surgery. How do you feel right now, and what led to that decision?
Yeah, it feels good. That was always going to be kind of a stretch just due to the nature of the injury and the timing of the surgery and everything. I think having been out of the boot for a little over a month now. I was just kind of waiting to see how it progressed, and everything's gone exactly on schedule. But we were kind of leaving opening day open just in case it happened to feel way better than expected. Everything's on the expected schedule so far. As I get into more baseball stuff, I still have to work into the adaptation of volume, and as the volume goes up, swelling kind of increases a little bit. So I got to take it slow and kind of let the progress kind of play out the way that was planned all along instead of trying to speed it up.
Where are you right now? I know you're taking swings. Is there anything else baseball activity that you're doing?
So I just started flips. I've done 2 days of flips, and I've been throwing and working like a running progression. I've been jogging on the gravity treadmill, getting up to 75%, and then I can do more plyos where I'm going kind of more straight up and down, and then I'm working into getting more linear motion right now.
Kind of played through it most of last year. Is that something you can learn from that experience? Like, you would rather have this be 100% before you really kind of push it this time around?
Yeah, I think I'll have a good feel for what it needs to feel like to be at 100%, especially with that first burst and the acceleration phase. We're really trying to make sure that I feel fully comfortable, going 0 to 100 as fast as I can before getting out there and playing games.
Getting back is obviously important, but the long-term health is probably more important. So how do you kind of have a plan for the long term of it?
Yeah, just being really aware of how it feels each day, and not trying to do something more than what I'm ready for yet, and having a setback. Fortunately, I haven't had any setbacks yet. I've kind of hit every step along the way. It's felt good, and haven't had any increase in soreness with each progressive activity. So, just really being smart about it, and making sure I'm being diligent about keeping up with my rehab and soft tissue and all that stuff, and making sure it's bouncing back the way we need it to.
I have to imagine that opening day was probably the original goal, but when you look at kind of the previous ankle injury, having to recover from that, do you think that kind of allowed you to remove the timeline aspect of this rehab and this recovery?
Yeah, it was always opening day was going to be a really aggressive goal, just in case it happened to be, recover faster than we expected it to. I think everything is based on past instances with this kind of surgery. I think I've hit every checkpoint along the way in terms of being 12 weeks, I'm at this point, 14 weeks, I'm trying to get to this point. I feel like I'm on schedule with that, and just kind of see how it goes with each step along the way.
Tell me one thing the Dodgers have stressed is getting you back fully, and in their opinion, that means a place where you're able to play around the diamond. That's where your value really is. For you, what is it going to take for you to be able to play not just second base, but center field, maybe some third? What are you looking to feel?
Yeah, I think it all comes back to the first step, just feeling like I can be explosive off the ball, and not feel hesitant at all about getting up to top speed, and then also being able to cut at top speed too, which is kind of the base running aspect of that. It's all just acceleration, change of direction type stuff.
All right. Well, Dave, I know there's lots kind of on the schedule. As the games get closer and closer, what are you kind of looking at this final week of just with position players here now and kind of things moving forward?
So obviously we've got the pitchers here. They've been doing fine work, and the catchers, and they've been taking batting practice. Position players all arrived or here now, which is good. But I think as far as we get geared up for Saturday, there's probably going to be a few guys, our regulars, that are not going to be in the game, and we have a long way to go. So I don't know how the lineup's going to look in the first few days of spring training, and or how the pitching is going to be, which Mark has got a handle on that. But yeah, just kind of seeing where guys are at. Today's an exciting day. We got a lot of live BPs, so hitters will take some at bats. We'll see a lot of different arms, and that'll be fun.
With the guys who are going to be a part of the World Baseball Classic, I mean, do you want to get them out there early, or how are you trying to kind of play that out game wise?
Yeah, they're ramping up. They'll be ready. I'm not sure. I'm at a loss which guys exactly are going to be going to the Classic, but I know Haesong's doing stuff, and Yamamoto's already thrown alive, and Shohei's taking some at bats, and he'll be ready. So they're on their way.
Have you put eyes on Teoscar? He arrived today, and do you feel like the work that he put in during the off season signals a message to you?
So he poked his head in on my morning meeting with the pitchers and catchers, and he gave me a hello. So I saw that he still has a beard. I haven't seen the body, but I heard he's in great shape. Obviously, I think for me, the defense really ticked up from that series in Denver we had in the summer. And for me, that's the bar. He's going to move to left field this year, which he's excited about. And I think he's just shown the ability to be a good defender out there, and he's obviously a run producer. So I'm excited to see what Teo can do this year. Very, very excited.
Do you feel like guys like him and Mookie, after down years offensively, have something to prove to themselves first this season?
I hope so. I think that, the great players, whatever criticisms or expectations people have of them, the great ones expect more and are more critical of themselves. So I would like to think that Mookie has something to prove for himself, and Teo as well.
With Teo, was that one of those things where, as things kind of got rolling with Tucker, you guys kind of reached out to see if he'd be open to left field, or was that one of those things where you kind of did that and afterwards kind of gauge where he was at?
We made the sign, and then I ended up reaching out to Teo and said, this is what's going to happen. And he gave me a big thumbs up, and he'll be ready to go. So I think it just speaks to the guys that we have in the room. And if winning is the most important thing, then it doesn't matter the role, the position, and guys just have bought in.
Dave, what is the vibe, energy like coming into our camp now back to back instead of just defending? Now you're going for a three-peat. What are the guys feeling and coming into this?
I think it's kind of, this is who we are, this is what we expect, and I say that in the work each day. Guys are excited, obviously see each other, which every camp is the same way, but I think for me I would expect us to go about each day the same, and I think we're as good as anyone at doing that while keeping the long-term goal in mind. So honestly, nothing has changed from 2 years ago to 3 years ago to last year to this year. I think we're focused on being as good as we can be each day.
Any late arrivals, or will everybody be here today?
Everyone's here outside of, we got a catcher, Eliza. Eliza is the only guy I think that hasn't arrived, but everyone else is.
Like a visa issue? Or?
I think it's a visa issue.
Where's Blake Snell at this point in time in camp?
He's playing catch. He's throwing. Once he gets off the mound, throws a pen, faces some hitters, we'll know more. But obviously, he's not there right now. So until he gets off the mound, I just really don't know.
When do you expect that to happen, if that's even in the foreseeable future?
It's in the foreseeable future. Nothing of concern. But I think that when he's ready to kind of make the progression is when he's ready. So like I said, I think the first day, there's no hard line dates for any of our players. There really isn't. I think that we have a ton of depth, a lot of able players, and we're not going to push any position player, let alone pitcher, to be ready for whatever date. I know Mark's got it kind of on his calendar. I'm not sure exactly what date that is, though.
How did Roki look yesterday?
What's that?
How did Roki look yesterday?
Roki looked really good. Roki, the fastball was coming out really well. threw some sliders. The split was fine, and I thought the command was really good for the first day. He's way ahead of where he was last spring, so certainly healthy, the delivery, and very encouraging day yesterday.
With Tommy Edman coming back off the injury, which is kind of the plan for him early on this spring?
Just kind of he took some swings a couple days ago, both sides. He did some skipping, some light jogging, I think it was, getting his body into baseball shape. So obviously he's not going to be ready for the start of camp, and he's into that same bucket of when he's ready, he's ready. But each day there's been progress.
How likely or unlikely do you think it is that Snell and Tommy are ready for or by opening day?
Tommy certainly won't be ready for opening day. And then with Blake, I guess it's a wait and see.
Is Shohei going to take some bats outside today?
You know what? I'm not sure. I would assume so. But I'm not sure which field he's on. But given he's trying to ramp up, for the Classic, I would assume he is.
Dave, going back to Teoscar for a second, because you've seen the ceiling, how excited are you for a possible comeback this year?
I'm very excited. I'm very excited. I think he's, for me, he's one of our best run producers. And then if you look at this lineup, there should be a lot of guys on base with him up to bat. So I think that, this could be a year where he really drives in a lot of runs. He should drive in a lot of runs this year. And then, where he's at, I think he's out to prove something, which is good.
Dave, we kind of knew for the last couple of months that Tommy not being ready for opening day was a possibility. Where is he at with the ankle, and when was it kind of made clear to you guys that you were going to have to make an adjustment there?
I think and I think just looking at where his ankle is at, trying to play the long view that you don't want to have any regression or setbacks, and so how can we be methodical with it? And just for me, knowing that he's just taking swings, isn't up to full speed, doing the baseball stuff, that takes a while to get your body into baseball shape. So we're not going to rush it. Want to put him in the best position. So I think it just kind of came more clear recently, very recently. And to be honest with you, that's sort of my take, just looking at him and kind of knowing our process and how we get guys ready for a season.
How do you see
second base options? How are you looking at that position going forward?
Yeah. You know what? I think Hae-Sung's in the mix. We got Espinal. Obviously Miggy Rowe's going to do some things over there. So Freeland certainly in the mix. So we got some nice options.
Well, Dave, it's officially the first day of everyone being here, first day of camp per se. So how do you just navigate throughout this day, and how are you feeling heading into this 2026 season?
I feel good. I'm excited. Our players are excited. Coach is excited. It's good to get everyone together and start our journey for 2026. And I think there's always optimism early, like every camp. And so now it's just kind of trying to sustain that energy, that focus every day, and put those blinders on and get to work.
Is there a theme or a message in which you hope for this team to embody this season?
I think for us, it's just more of looking forward, focusing on ourselves and what that means, and not kind of concerning ourselves with outside expectations, noise, other teams. And that's what we've done a pretty good job of in years past. And with that should remain the same.
You've always talked about the players policing themselves. Do you feel like the tone's already been set by the way a lot of your guys that have been here have come into camp ready to go day one?
Absolutely. There's nothing more powerful than your best players being the best workers, echoing my thoughts about what it takes to be great and consistent. And so now with those guys, along with other guys that we have that understand the blueprint to win a championship, and then you add in guys that chose to be here who are very talented. So it's a recipe to do some special things, but everyone in that room understands that it's a day-to-day thing. It's a long road ahead of us, and we got to prove it every day.
We haven't had a chance to talk to you since yesterday's Vesia versus Ohtani matchup. When you see that type of intensity in that setting from a guy that obviously went through a lot, what kind of tone is that for the camp? And were you taken aback by just the emotion he showed striking out Shohei?
You know what? I wasn't necessarily taken aback because Alex is a very intense player, and everything matters to him, and whether it's a live or it's a playoff game or regular season game, that same intensity shows up. And so certainly with a player like Shohei, you don't ever want to get embarrassed, and he brought his best and struck him out. And I think Shohei was a little surprised at the motion, but he gets it, and that's what you want. That, yeah, it's alive. It's the first day of, one of the early days of spring training, but it still matters, and that's a good thing for all of us.
Did you give a speech at all today?
I did. It was just kind of talking about, talking a little bit about last year and what we accomplished and how we got there, and talking about this year and expectations. And a lot of it is the same of just, again, continuing to focus on the right things, the little things, and how we go about practicing and playing, keeping that enthusiasm and buckling up for the long season ahead, and expect to play through October. So a lot of the same values that I believe in, that we believe in, just reiterated.
Any players speak?
Tucker, Díaz, Miggy Rowe, Will, just kind of had a couple things. Mookie.
For the new guys to speak up, what does that say about them, and can you share anything about their message with us?
No, it was just more about, what made the Dodgers attractive to them, and I think it's powerful for our guys to hear it from the other side, from somebody who hasn't been here, and so it was a great message from quick notes from each of those guys, which is great, and it's important. It's powerful for our players to hear from each other.
Well, Andrew, it's kind of crazy. This is like the first official day of camp. Just seeing everyone out here, what is the feeling that you have now, having the 2026 season officially on the way?
Yeah, we talk about this every day. The first day of spring, the winter, it gets long, and the walls start crashing down on you, and you can't wait to get outside. That being said, this year it feels like we played like 6 weeks ago. Yeah. And so to get back together is crazy in a lot of ways, but just seeing the guys around the last week and the energy in camp already, and the focus is exactly how, we dreamt it up this offseason as we were putting stuff together.
Yeah, everyone's coming ready. I think one of those guys is definitely Shohei Ohtani. I know he's getting ready for the World Baseball Classic, but with what he was able to do just today on the mound, how sharp the stuff looks, is there any continuation of the conversations when it comes to his role with Team Japan?
Yeah, he looked really good today, and obviously It's February, and we're going to be mindful of all of that with all of our guys. But no, I mean, with Sho, he's going there to DH. He's not going to pitch in the World Baseball Classic. We sat down and talked to him about it, and just coming off the surgery, coming off the year he had, pitching through October, just the quick turnaround at that kind of intensity coming off surgery. And then obviously we have designs of playing through October this year, and Shohei being a big part of that on the mound. That coupled with the idea that he wants to pitch for the next 8 years, we want him to pitch for the next 8 years. Just trying to be really mindful of all of that. And so we sat down, had the conversation with him. He understood it. The competitor in him doesn't love it, but he understood it. And so we had a really good conversation about it. But for where he is right now, and will continue, his throwing progression, but not necessarily getting into games. And then we'll figure out, what he's able to accomplish while he's in Japan on those kind of off days. And then we'll be able to slide him back in here into our rotation as quickly as possible.
Do you think that'll be from the start of the season?
I do.
And when you guys are planning these out, bigger picture things in mind, having him healthy at the end of the season, and then even longer term, how close can you use him to a normal starting pitcher when you're baking in all those other things with him as you go through this year?
Obviously last year was coming back from surgery, and so we were very deliberate about a lot of things. This year we will be less so, but still mindful of it. It's a heavy, heavy load that he takes on that is different from every other player in baseball. And so I think a lot of it is reading and reacting. So I think through March, having a throwing program and, making sure he's getting his ups and, his arm's in a good place, and then we'll hopefully get him into a Freeway Series game and then put him in our rotation. And then we'll figure out from there kind of how we progress. Some of it is where he is at that point. But a lot of it is going to be reading and reacting based on how he's feeling, how he's recovering, what the load looks like. But at some point, stepping up that level of aggression as we get, deeper into the season, that will be a little bit different than last year.
I was talking Cy Young the other day. You think he could pitch enough to be a real factor in that sort of race, or just be at that level this year?
It's hard to say, but I certainly wouldn't bet against him. And the fact that he is saying that, he seems like he's on a mission, pitching-wise. And, whenever we've seen him on a mission, good things happen. And so, for me, I think figuring out what we're able to accomplish in March, where he is as we start the season, what that kind of progression looks like, how he's recovering, how things are going, will inform us a lot more, and so we'll have a better idea as we get going.
How much upside do you think there might be still with Ohtani as a pitcher?
I think he's incredibly talented on the mound. I think it's a really, really deep mix. And you think about how split his days are in terms of time. There are a lot of really talented pitchers who have all day, every day to hone their craft. Shohei obviously has to balance his time and be really thoughtful and deliberate about it. I do think there's more in there as he, just continues to refine that deep mix and figuring out verse right and left. And, I think last year was great for him to be able to get back into the flow of things. Love that he got to experience pitching October baseball and just appreciating the toll and how much that takes out of you with the added intensity, all of which I think will really help serve him this year. And what that equals, what it ends up being at the end of the year, I don't know, but I just know I wouldn't bet against him.
Have you had conversations with Shohei and Yama regarding just being mindful of what they have done in the last few months and what they're undertaking with the World Baseball Classic? What are the guardrails that you've tried to implore on them?
Not really, because I know them, and I know that once, the first pitch and Samurai Japan against Taiwan, I just know the level of intensity that they will have, and so it's more just making sure the work up to this point, that we're putting them in the best positions to go take on that kind of intense atmosphere, and then obviously the build-up with Yoshinobu and where he's at pitch count-wise, what we're able to get him to here will help inform a little bit of, what that workload looks like. But so it's more about just the work going in. It is impossible to tell those guys to dial it back in any way, and nor would I do that.
I mean, in that vein, I mean, are you any concerned at all that kind of in the heat of competition, Ohtani would just go to his manager and just say, hey, to hell with it, just put me in, let me pitch?
I don't think so. I mean, I think we've talked to Samurai Japan. We've talked to Shohei. I think everyone understands
You
it.
would
and I
sue
think,
Samurai Japan?
I think everybody understands it.
You know when
You're
they're-
so litigious.
Do you know when they're leaving for Japan?
Different guys are leaving different days, so it's better to ask them.
Ready? Well, Mookie, it's day one of camp, which is kind of crazy to think. When you think about just everyone being here and going for a three-peat, being back together, what's it been like for the group and kind of seeing everyone today?
It's been good. I mean, like you said, it's day one. Got a long way to go, so I think everybody knows and everybody's prepared.
Dave Roberts talked about how when he addressed the team this morning, a couple of guys, including yourself, spoke. Can you just share what your message was to the team?
Just about preparation, being prepared. I mean, our confidence is going to come with our preparation. I think that's across the board in really anything you do in life. So that's kind of all it was, is just making sure you're prepared so you're confident when we play.
I know you're a veteran in this game, but for you personally this season, what are you working on, maybe at the plate or on the field?
Nothing in particular.
Keep doing
Just playing, man. That's all you can really do is just play. Obviously, I would love to get better and better, but that's kind of like a pit that you never really that you just fall into, and so sometimes you just be who you are. You don't have to be more. Obviously, nobody wants to be less, but just embracing who I am and understanding it, and just kind of doing that.
Seems like just yesterday you guys won the World Series, and you're back at work. Do you feel like wanting a little extra time? What was your favorite part of the offseason?
I mean, I got to play a lot of golf. But after that, I mean, it's just time with the fam and just resetting. You know, it's going to be another tough year and another long year, and so just preparing for that, really.
What's
How'd
the
you like the
handicap?
pro-am at
I'm at 3 now.
Okay,
I'm at 3
nice.
now, so we're getting a little bit better.
Yeah.
How'd you like the pro-am at Waste Management?
It was fun. It was fun. There was a lot of people there. A lot of people there. A lot of people talking reckless too. But,
Who was the best golfer there, you think?
I don't know. I don't even know all the celebrities that were there. Honestly, I didn't even know half the people that were there.
Pro golfers.
I mean, you would have to obviously say Scotty, right? But I got to play with Maverick McNeely and Nico Echeverria, and those guys were awesome. So I really enjoyed it.
Can you discuss the
Pard. I missed the birdie putt. I was happy I got it on the green.
when you talked about like rewiring your swing this offseason, like what does that do? Like what do you have to do differently when you're going through that kind of process compared to maybe like what other winners have looked like for you?
I don't know. I haven't really had to do it, so this is my first time and haven't gotten any game action. So we'll see if anything worked. But really, just kind of getting back to the basics. I mean, just doing, understanding what I do best and trying to hone in on that.
Is there something to that with having like a truly normal spring this year? I mean, the last 2 years have been going earlier to go overseas. To be able to have the full spring, to kind of, even Dave said he was going to slow play you and some of the other guys. How does that just kind of benefit as you build up for the season to start?
Honestly, I don't know. It's like I haven't had a regular spring in like 3 or 4 years, maybe since I've been a Dodger. So this will be maybe the first one, and so I don't really know how it's going to work out. I just know that being 33 now, I don't have to hurry up and get here and be ready to play from day one, so I can just kind of embrace that. Not everybody's blessed to have that, so being that I am one of the ones that's blessed with that, I'll see how I can make do with it.
Have you been watching we're NBC, so home of the Olympics. Have you been watching the Olympics, the Winter Olympics at all?
No, I don't. I haven't turned on my TV.
Oh, okay.
I don't even watch TV. So
Okay.
I am usually playing golf or something, some type of video game or something.
And we asked Dave about LA 28. He said he would love to be a part of it, maybe manage it. Is it something that you would want to be a part of?
Absolutely, absolutely. I would have done the WBC had it if it wasn't for bad timing of having a child, but kids are always a blessing. So, but yeah, if I get the opportunity to play in the Olympics, absolutely.
Thanks, Mookie. Thank you.
Be part of this team, this is a championship team, so being able to be here with them now, I'm really excited. Just want to help them to win another World Series.
What is the vibe out there with these guys and all the fans? What have you felt?
Feel great. The fans. There's a lot of fans here supporting the team already, so that's pretty cool. And we can't wait.
You've been getting a lot of love out there too.
Yeah, they've been giving me some love, so I'm really happy.
Dave said that you were one of the players that spoke up in the meeting today. What did you sort of say to the team? What was kind of the overall message from that meeting today?
I just talk how I look the Dodgers from outside, and what was my decision to come here. So I speak a little bit to the teammates, and Tucker did it too, so it was pretty fun.
What was the message?
Just, I talked to my brother, to Kika, before I made the decision to come here, and how I see the team from another clubhouse, and they look pretty nice in the field, and I heard they treat every player about the same inside the clubhouse, so that was one of the things I was looking for.
Now that you've been here, I know it's only been a few days, but how would you just describe kind of what this experience has been, building these relationships, working with the catchers, and the conversations with the coaches, how it's been thus far?
It's been great. It's been great. I got really good communication with the pitching coaches. I haven't thrown to the catchers yet because they've been working with the other guys. But at the end of the day, I want to be in the same page with them. So when I had the chance to throw to the catchers, I want to be in the same page with them and follow them and do my job.
How important is this time just before you leave to go to Team Puerto Rico with the World Baseball Classic? Like, how do you have to kind of prioritize these? I'm not sure how much longer you have with the group, but just this time left.
This time left, just get ready to go there and compete. I got like 2 more weeks left here, so I think that's enough time to get ready, go there, play for Puerto Rico, and then come back and finish my spring training and ready for the season.
How much have you thought about your first time walking out of that left field bullpen at Dodger Stadium for the first time?
I think it would be pretty cool. I think that sound and the trumpet sound will be loud, so can't wait to see the reaction of the fans.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Good to see you, by the way.
Thank you.
Well, Dave, I know we talked to Andrew yesterday, and he made it very clear how Shohei's not going to be pitching in the World Baseball Classic. But to see him on the mound yesterday as he continues with his build-up, I mean, what did you see from him yesterday and how the stuff was coming out?
You know what? I heard. I didn't see him. I was on field too, but I heard it was good. He got his work in and pleased with it. So just continuing the progression and go from there.
Just considering, I mean, I know it's, as much as it's early in camp, a lot of guys came in ready. I mean, do you feel really good as to where the pitchers are right now with games coming up this weekend?
I do. I do. There's some guys that were ramping up slower, as we've talked about, but there's other guys that are ready to go, and there's certainly a build-up, and we have a lot of good arms and depth, and some veteran guys, some guys that we just signed, some younger guys. So just to give guys opportunities and see, and then as guys get built up. But yeah, we're certainly ready to get going.
Given what you said yesterday about Yamamoto and where he's at and wanting to get him into a Cactus League game, will he start Saturday or Sunday?
That's the thought, the plan. I'm not sure which day. That's more Mark Pryor driven, but that's the hope. If things go well, we should see him in one of those games.
You saw Blake Trinan throw. What can you expect from him at this stage of his career? What does he have left in the tank after what he did for you guys in 24?
A lot in the tank. I know that the age is one thing, but for me, it's what I see and what the ball's doing, and he's healthy again. He's throwing the base. The ball's coming out really well. So I don't think it really. For me, I don't care about the age. The body's moving well. He's still strong, and I saw Penn a couple days ago, and a few days ago, and yesterday. It's as good as I've seen him throw the baseball in a while.
How much can you lean on him? Is it the same type of high leverage situations, or given everything that he's gone through and done, is it different?
Yeah, I think that I certainly trust him. It's going to be high leverage. How much we lean on him, that's kind of, depending on how he's feeling and who else we have around him and how they're throwing the baseball. But right now, he's a full participant. He's throwing the baseball well, feels good, and we'll go from there.
How does Mookie look to you these first couple days, and what are you going to be looking for out of him this spring to kind of let you know if his swing is getting back to where he wants it to be?
I think that yes, last year started off certainly different with kind of when we were in Tokyo and how he was feeling and the weight loss and all that stuff. I think he had a great off season. He's in a good headspace. The body's good. And I think for me, it's just getting back to being who he is. And I just think that last year was an outlier offensive season, and I'm not too concerned about Mookie at all.
You still think that like MVP caliber offensive player that we saw a couple years ago is still in there for him?
Absolutely. I have no doubt about it. The way he played shortstop last year, expecting him to get better, be better offensively this year, he will be in the MVP conversation this year. But again, I think speaking for Mookie, his main goal is to help us win a championship. So I think whatever falls out from there, I think that will happen. So I just want him to focus on just being healthy, helping us win, and then whatever happens outside of that will happen.
How much do you think hitting between Tucker and Freddie at times is going to help him and whatever he sees? And what changes from hitting leadoff to second to a guy hitting third between and behind those guys?
Yeah, I think leadoff. I feel good with our leadoff hitter right now. I think for Mookie in particular, being leadoff, the mindset of getting on base versus hitting behind Shohei in the number 2. I like him in the number 3 in the sense that I feel that there's an on-base component, there's a get hits component, there's a drive and run component, and you're more of a Swiss Army knife in the lineup. So, I'm not beholden to it, but I like him in the 3 hole right now.
Will that change right-handed, left-handed pitching?
No, that should. It should say, and I haven't totally, figured out 2 and 4, but I like Mookie in the 3 though. Not yet.
League opener on Saturday?
Yeah, Yamamoto's going to start.
And do you have any idea on which regulars or how many will be in that one?
I don't. I would expect Will Smith to be in there. I would expect Freddie to be in there. I expect Teo to be in there, and probably Andy. And then I think that's safe, and then we'll go from there.
When you talk about slow playing some of these guys, do you mean like how you were talking about Kyle Tucker in the sense of getting him in there on Sunday and then Tuesday, so getting these guys just multiple days of rest in between Cactus League games?
I think that's part of it, but also, guys like Mookie and Muntz, I'm going to kind of start those guys a little bit later than this weekend and see where we go. That's kind of it. And then once they get going, then we'll stagger and, give them the ample time in between. But you still I got to appreciate that it's a longer spring. And so if they're going to be here for 6 weeks, those guys, then I don't want to kind of, come in too hot. I want to kind of pace them out a little bit.
You're right, but there's only one Freddie Freeman. You ready, Jorge? Freddie, Dave talked about how just this spring things are going to look a little bit slower. You guys haven't had a full spring in a while.
Yeah.
How are you feeling heading into this year, and how do you manage yourself through these 6 weeks?
Yeah, I feel good. I'm ready to go, but we are going to slow play a little bit. I won't play until, I just did my schedule, I think Tuesday, so the 4th game, and then I'll be going. But it's kind of planned out that I'll be around 47 plate appearances, which I kind of like. Because the first few, I'll look like I know what I'm doing. There's about a middle window where it looks like I've never played the game before, and then I'll get back onto it. But I'm going to be playing Tuesday, which is, I think, the 4th game. But I feel good. I feel ready to go. My body feels great, so I'm looking forward to it.
You're someone who wants to be out there, especially in the regular season, every single day. Do you feel like this year is going to have to look a little bit different in regard to that?
My goal is to be ready to play 162 games, and then we'll go from there on the days they want to give me off. But I'll be ready to play every single game.
Have you become more accepting of that as you get a little older? You've had some issues, hit and miss over the last couple of years.
I mean, I feel like the issues are not controlled by me. I mean, the ankle and ball off my finger, breaking my finger, and rib things. So I would like to think I have issues. I think it's just kind of the wear and tear of a season and fluky things. But for me, that wouldn't be right if I'm looking for a day off here and there. So for me, I'm going to prepare to play 162 games, and then when that day comes or the night comes where they say we're going to give you tomorrow off, I will, me, I will fight that battle and most likely lose, but I want to play every game. You guys know that. So as I've gotten older, I try not to think about that, but they are looking out for the best interests of me, and I do understand that. So I probably, if they want to give me, I'll just say yes this year.
Well, Will, we got to see you catching some guys today. Roki Sasaki, how does the stuff look different this year, or what are you seeing from him right now, so early in camp?
Yeah, he looks good. He's throwing the ball hard. The fastball looks really good. Splitter looks really good. He's been working, on a little cutter, slider type thing. Just really trying to dial that in. Work on two seam as well. Something going the other way. Yeah, he looks good.
When you look at just kind of how he ended last year, do you see a difference in individual confidence like the such going into this year?
Yeah, for sure. He's more confident. I feel like he knows, a little bit more of like what he needs to do on the mound. Just has a little better presence. So yeah, I mean, it takes a little bit of time to get your feet wet in the big leagues. You got to feel success at some point, and that's what he felt, in the postseason. So I'm expecting him to carry it over to this season.
What about Edwin Díaz today? He's also out there on the mound.
Yeah, it was the first time I'd seen him or caught him this year. He looked good. The velo's not all the way there yet, but he's probably right where he should be, not throwing too hard too early. He's still, 93 or whatever. But, no, he looked good. The slider looked really good. The fastball looked good. He's going to be huge for us this year.
Go with, I mean, obviously Cactus League starts tomorrow. Just how are you feeling heading into these games and where guys are at? You've mentioned a few guys are going to be out there, but just in general, how are you feeling with games starting tomorrow?
Excited. It's come quick. I think guys are anxious to just get going. Guys like to play baseball. I think we're in a good spot on all fronts. The pitching, the hitting, the health, the ramp up. So we're in a good spot, and excited to see Yamamoto go tomorrow. And yeah, Jackson Ferris I think is going to start on Sunday. But yeah, we're going to stagger guys, get them kind of introduced to playing games kind of at some point, and everyone's not going to be out there early.
Yeah, with Roki Sasaki, we saw, well, I was talking to Will Smith about him yesterday, and he said he just has a different confidence this year. Do you see that in him, and how much has he grown in this past, I guess, maybe year and a half now?
He's grown up a lot. I do see that confidence that Will had mentioned. I think that part of it is the postseason. His performance in the postseason sort of bled into the offseason, and he's stronger. He's healthy. He's throwing the baseball really well right now. So, yeah, I think that confidence is real.
Are there plans for how the team will manage ABS challenges during games?
We're still talking about that. I think right now I feel comfortable with the catchers doing the challenges versus the pitchers, and the hitters obviously trying to get a grasp on it. So I think this is good that we're practicing it in spring, but we're having conversation about leverage and how to use it to our advantage.